What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Son and Pop's Culture. I'm Son,
And I'm Pops.
and this is episode 25.
I gotta say, bud, you nailed that opening. Nailed it.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
That was off the cuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are new or just joining us, what is this podcast about?
That is a good question. Son of Pop's Culture, your place for your pop to fill your pop culture needs. We talk about music, movies, comics, video games, and life. You know, there's a generation. I don't want to say the generation clash, but it's definitely where the old. There's
debate.
Yeah, debate. This is where the old meets the new.
Yeah.
And sometimes we actually agree. Stick around, you might actually learn a thing or two. Hey. You don't know about that.
I didn't know.
Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby used to do this thing.
Man, that's how we're starting.
Yeah, he used to do this little intro on Fat Albert and the Junkyard Crew, Junkyard Gang. But yeah, Fat Albert, and he did this whole little rhyme, and he's like, and if you stick around, you might learn a thing or two. Hey. So yeah, stick around. You know, you might learn a thing or two. So yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah.
But we'll start where we always start with this week's drink.
This week's drinks. The 21-year-old's quest for his favorite drink continues.
22.
Well, yeah, you're 22 now, but it started when you were 21.
Yeah.
I feel like you're starting to lock in now.
Yeah. Now it's just like sightseeing type thing.
Yeah. You're just seeing the sights, a little tour of, the world. All right. Well, let's do this, and then I'll tell you a story. Right. You can tell me a story. So, actually, you have a story.
I have So this week's drink is a honey brown ale.
Honey brown.
But this is homemade.
Oh, that's why there's no label.
Yes, my friends Ian and Nick made this. They made a batch.
Ooh, have you had it?
No, this is my first try.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know how it is.
Okay.
But it's a honey brown ale. They said it's stronger than a lager,
but
a little weaker than a dark brew.
Like a stout. Yeah.
Yeah, a little weaker than a stout. They said it's like a medium.
Okay, well, go ahead.
What is it? It took a week to ferment and 2 weeks in the bottle to like carbonate. Because I remember when they said they were doing this, and I kind of didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, so tell a little backstory about Ian and Nick. I didn't know Nick was involved in this, but I mean, I've been hearing about Ian all summer. So
Ian, wait, you can back away from the mic. Ian, he works at a brewery, a bartender. That's what he wants to do, I guess. So him and Nick bought like a kit. They bought like this kit that we're drinking, and they did this thing. And Nick said they're still thinking of a name. Like they can't come up with a name yet.
Yeah, they can't say honey brown because there's a honey brown.
Yeah, no, like an actual name for their product that they're gonna make.
See, I didn't know Nick. I knew Ian. Yeah, I knew Ian was into the brewing, found his passion for it. I didn't know Nick was involved too. So
they're
I didn't know.
Yeah, I forget the next thing they said they're gonna make. It's not a honey brown ale. I forget. I think they said an IPA's next that they're gonna make.
Well, I won't know if that's good or not because I don't know. What I'm actually, it's funny because it's kind of off subject, kind of on subject. I was looking at distilleries last night when I woke up in the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep. So I was looking at distilleries because me and your mom were talking about doing a tour. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to find a couple of local distilleries because I'm more interested in how you make spirits. Yeah. Not that I wouldn't watch a beer making process too. I like how things work. You know what I mean? Even if I don't
how things are made.
Yeah, I do. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Cue the Home Depot music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the list of like the stupid stuff that I know how to do, it's pretty long. And it's just because I like to see how stuff's made. Figure it out. But anyways, so yeah, okay. Now this changes. So what's the Southwestern Pennsylvania name for homemade beer? Is it just homemade beer?
Homemade, yeah.
Is it microbrew? Is that what it is? There's no like ethnic, racial name for it?
Yeah, I don't.
Imagine that.
Oh wow. That got the Matt seal of approval.
Stupid as hell.
No, I can tell when after your first sip, and then you think, and then you go for the second one.
Yeah, hey, but I mean, the first one I'm a little scared.
I was scared too.
Yeah,
I was scared
if this
too.
hits bad, I don't want a whole mouthful, but yeah.
Not bad.
Well played, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well played.
I'm actually impressed.
Yeah, I drink this. All right, my initial thoughts.
Yeah.
I would drink this if I was like chilling somewhere with somebody who liked beer.
Mm-hmm.
I could drink a few of these. I couldn't drink a lot of these because I can tell the weight of it already. You know, so beer drinkers, IPA people, I think people who are into beer will definitely like this. You know how I am with beer, so but I like it. It's heavy for me, so I could probably drink about 4 of these in a sitting, maybe 5. Depends if I started getting that pizza craving or not.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But
something about the glass bottle sweating makes you want a nice hot pizza.
Yeah, that's good because this is about to be gone. Yeah.
I told you, I could tell. I can always tell after your first sip
if I like it, if I'm done with it.
Your reaction based on your
and
how you proceed a second.
And kudos. Sip. I mean, I know this is how beer's bottled. He said how I perceive this. Kudos.
I can see how like it is stronger than a lager.
Oh,
I can tell, but it's not. What was the other thing? The dark brew or whatever. What'd you say?
A stout.
Stout.
It's not a stout.
Yeah, I can tell it's not a stout.
Yeah,
but it is stronger than a lager.
I would like to pour this in a glass just so I could see it. You know, like the color and everything.
Yeah, I wonder what color it is.
When this bottle beer hits the glass and those aromatics start hitting.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many they made. But,
how many did you bring? 2?
That's 2. I didn't.
Wow. Why did you get so?
I only wanted 2 because I was like, I don't know if we're gonna like it. It's only $2 a bottle. So.
Yeah. Well, tell them to give us some more. I'll get these out there to a couple people I know.
All right.
For real. Like Sergi would definitely like this.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to my main man Matt Sergi. Yeah, because he's in the beer and microbrewing and all that stuff. So this would be right up his alley.
This is first of many.
First of many. Well, this is strong too. I can tell already. I can feel my tongue getting loose. So.
Yeah, once they have a name, we'll shout them out.
Yeah.
Officially.
Yeah, well played, young man. Well played.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I mean, you find something you like to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's about all I can say. That's my sage wisdom right there. If you love it, I love it. Go for it. So, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that went well.
It did. I was excited to try it, but I was also skeptical because homemade.
Yeah, it's homemade.
As we saw.
This is infused with bacon and blueberries, and then there's chunks in there too. Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, my 3 favorite things.
Yeah.
In the one drink.
You're like, yeah, no. Yeah. This is BLT flavored. Yeah.
Okay. Good on paper. But want to get into the news?
Yeah, let's do the news. Let's do the news.
Want to talk about the biggest thing?
What's the biggest thing? Oh, the queen.
The queen.
I mean, you brought it on, bro.
Queen.
But I mean, look, man.
My queen is dead.
Yeah, my queen. Yeah, their queen is dead.
I know.
Hey, look, rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. I'm gonna say that just out of respect for anyone passing.
96.
Anyone passing. She had a full life.
97.
You want to talk about it or you want me to talk about it?
I know you have some words.
I have words, but I'm not gonna try not to go off. I mean, your Aunt Sarah, I'm sure, will be tuning in for the whole week of services and then have her eye on England or the UK or whatever the fuck she's queen of. What was it? Just England?
I don't know. I don't know how the provinces work of UK.
Yeah, the United Kingdom, but she'll be watching, keeping an eye on just how it changes over there with her passing, because she's been the queen for so long.
70 years, longest ever.
I mean, that's a crazy run. Your Uncle Doug was like,
ever.
Yeah, well, I believe it. Between back in the day when you could die from cutting your hand and people were poisoning each other and stabbing each other and really fighting for the job. And then but isn't there like a weird break somewhere where the line actually isn't like the exact line? Like isn't there? I feel like there was a prince or someone who died without an heir, and then that's when they shifted over to her line. But I could be wrong.
Sounds like Game of Thrones.
I mean, well, that's all it is, really. But I mean,
yeah.
But so your Uncle Doug said the first, because now Charles will be king. And he's like, the first king in my lifetime. And I'm like, it's the first king in anybody's lifetime. And like, freaking, like anybody. I mean, our grandparents were like, I think there was a king.
No, anybody.
Like, yeah.
Nobody.
Like,
she was born in 1920s.
Yeah.
Okay, she became queen in the 50s. So.
Okay, so my grandparents would remember the previous king. But
maybe.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, so people's grandparents, great-grandparents. You're right. That is. Jeez.
Sorry, but I'm listening to you though. But yeah,
you just get to.
It's just I turned off
people say with dads, they cannot look at their phone and talk.
No, I can't drive with the radio too loud. Like I gotta turn the radio down to read something, all kind of shit. But yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's like this with me in royalty as an American. It's just I'm never mind. It's just I'm not going to woman pass.
We don't have any. We don't have any UK listeners.
We don't. I mean, but I just don't want to be disrespectful.
Oh no, I didn't think you were going.
No,
to.
I wasn't going to be. Just I just don't like the royalty. I just don't care for the royalty. I think it's messed up. I mean, like when Meghan Markle made the accusations about racism and people were shocked. I'm like, the royalty are literally a line of people who believe by right of birth they're better than everybody. That's literally what it means. Like they believe that they are better than everybody. So how is it that far-fetched to think they might be racist? Yeah. That's all. So to me, it's like the royalty is just, and the fact that there's a whole country that buys into that delusion. That
I want to know how many people are actually like crazy about them though.
Well, I feel like
in that country,
I feel like it's almost like at some point they figured out it'd be easier and more financially it would benefit them more financially if it was treated just like the ultimate form of celebrity over there, because they don't do anything and they're wealthy, and like the things that belong to them have always belonged to them and will always belong to them. So it's like if you were to steal like the royal jewels, you couldn't sell them like for nearly what they're worth. Even if you chopped them up. Now it's just chopped up, you know what I mean? And there might be some crazy investor who's like knows that they're the royal jewels and will pay you money, but wouldn't pay like what they're actually worth. Like all their stuff is like priceless because it's theirs, but it'll always be theirs. It's crazy. I don't know. It's just royalty is just strange to me. Like I didn't watch any of the weddings. I watched a little bit of Williams, but that's because I was like passing by and I saw Pippa, Princess Kate or whatever, the Duchess Kate Winslet, her sister Pippa.
I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, Pippa's just her sister.
Yeah,
and Pippa like showed up at the wedding. She was banging. Like I was like, "Who's that?" And they're like, "That's her sister." I was like, "Wow, Pippa." But other than that, I don't really follow it. I mean, like I said, your Aunt Sarah, she's all about the royals and the Queen. Like I think Obama might have hugged the Queen, and it was all offensive because he hugged the Queen because she's the Queen. And I'm like, what are you? To me, that's like, what are you talking about? You know. But
Obama making it do what it do.
I mean, he probably was like, "What up, though?" And gave her a hug. Like, I mean,
dapped her up.
Yeah, dapped her up.
Pulled her in.
But kudos to him because I refrained on a hug the other day, just because of the situation. I'll hug hello, I'll hug goodbye, but I didn't hug. It was interesting. But anyways, I mean, rest in peace. God bless her. But
icon.
Yeah, I mean, she's the Queen. They made 700 movies about her and miniseries.
Which I watched Spencer, that movie.
Yeah. You did watch it?
I did watch that.
With Mark Wahlberg?
No. With Kate
Spencer. Oh, okay.
What do you think?
There's a movie called Spencer with Mark Wahlberg.
Never heard of
that.
He
plays Spencer. Go ahead. My bad. I was like, why would you watch
I watched the movie Spencer. It's about the girl from Twilight played Princess Diana.
Yeah.
I know it's not 100%. It's not fact. Like, it's a fiction movie.
Yeah.
But after seeing that, I was like, man, royal family, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, I mean, everything with them is image, Yeah,
like, that's what was like the big thing.
And it's just like, how about you have to do your best to be perceived a certain way, knowing they're going to twist the perception of you, knowing it. So like you're a human, so you basically it's like probably like being a baseball player. I'm gonna strike out 70% of the time.
Yeah.
But I got to go out there every time and try to swing for the fences. You know, that'd be a lot of pressure. You know,
it would be.
I mean, your aunt can't stand Meghan Markle. That's a whole other story. Well, but your aunt can't stand Meghan Markle because
no, Dad, no, stop.
I'm not gonna go
you
crazy.
Keep talking about.
Yeah. Well, she's the only person I know that loves the royals. So, but what I'm saying is like she doesn't like Meghan Markle, but Meghan Markle has done things that like no one did prior to her, even Diana.
What did she do?
Like I mean, well, she basically like they gave up like what is it? Their royalness and became like basically as regular as you can be. Like they no longer are like
I knew that.
Yeah. And like I mean Diana divorced Charles or whatever she did. You know, and that was huge. But like Meghan
she wasn't
Markle,
the first one though.
No, Fergie divorced Charles's brother, then like filed for bankruptcy a few years later. But Meghan Markle, like I don't know if I agree with her or disagree with her, but she had a hard. My whole point was that she had a hard time with the pressure that came with being a royal, and I don't know if that's because she was a modern American or if it was because just it's that fucked up. You know what I mean? Because culturally, I mean England and America are probably a lot alike, but
there's probably modern American.
So she had issues just with how it was. I mean, my biggest thing with Meghan Markle and Harry was just that I just found it interesting that once William started having kids and it became, you know, painfully clear that there's no way Harry could ever be king, even though it doesn't matter, you know, but like Harry is now like, it would go like his father, then William, then William's two boys, then Harry. Like Harry's never going to be king. So all of a sudden Harry had a black girlfriend and then a black fiance and then a black wife. I was like, oh, that's interesting because before William had any kids, Harry was just like this eligible bachelor just running around. So I just thought that was interesting. Like once he basically there was only so far he could go, then he was free to do what he wanted, kind of some second son stuff. Like I'm just gonna do what I want, and they were like, okay, like we don't need you now.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of something you're seeing on the new Game of Thrones.
Well, no, that's exactly
right. It's like, hey, you're important to me until you're not, you know. Then it's kind of like,
but in the Game of Thrones case, he didn't have a son yet, and they're like, nah, we can't make him king.
Yeah, that was because he was just a mess. Which I mean, you think people would be like that? I mean, they used to have whipping boys. You know, like whipping boys. Like if let's say I'm the king and you're my son, and you do something bad, and it's time to give you a whooping. But since you're the prince, nobody can strike you. So there was a boy that got beat for you.
Oh wow!
What lesson does that teach you? What lesson does that teach you? Like it's crazy. A whipping boy.
Tradition.
Yeah, like don't you feel bad? I'll lit him up. You're like, yeah.
They're hitting like, the whipping boy. They're like, oh man, glad I got that out.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, Queen. That's it. It's all good for the Queen, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. You thoughts?
No. She was old, lived a long life. It's crazy, but unexpected. No.
Rest in power. Why do people say rest in power?
I don't.
I'm just asking.
It sounds cool. I think.
Is that why?
Well, I think it's because, how I decipher it's because like they're an influencer figure.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like people say rest in power to people that are like that did stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Has anyone said rest in power to someone normal?
I've heard at funerals and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard it, and I always thought, that's interesting. But,
not trying to be mean. Does people deserve a rest in power?
Oh, but I'll say a lot. But wow, I mean, I thought that was a very interesting take. I feel like a rest in peace would suffice.
I feel like rest in power came like something different.
Yeah, I don't even know, but I'm not even sure what it means to rest in power. Rest in peace is rest peacefully. Like
that's why I said how I deciphered rest in power is someone that was influential, did some stuff.
Okay.
I don't know though. I honestly don't know where rest in power came from.
I don't know either. I don't know. We're gonna have to spin the block on that. I just learned spin the block yesterday. I'm gonna throw that out there.
That is.
Yeah, people got Urban Dictionary that one. It basically spin the block. I read this thing where it was like people were talking about. It was on Instagram and they were talking about like slang, in the culture, and they were saying like how they'll say something at work, it'll come out accidentally.
Yeah.
they go have a little slip. They don't code switch when they're supposed to, and and then like their coworkers will pick it up and start saying it completely wrong. And this dude said he was talking about an account that they had tried to get earlier. He said, but we had to spin the block and come at him later. And he's basically coming back around and attacking them again. And they got the account. So then everybody started saying spin the block. But they're saying they're using it wrong. Then there was like this whole like string of things on Instagram where they were talking about like being at work and somebody accidentally said like she was just out of pocket, you know? So now all the coworkers say they're out of pocket when they're like not going to be in their office. And that's not what out of pocket means.
Yeah. Where was this on?
It was on Instagram. It was just like one of the threads on Instagram. And I was laughing. I was like, that's so funny. Because I was at work one time and my boss told he was in a meeting and all he said was we just got to play the game. That's all he said. And literally like everybody started saying it and he would look at me like, what the hell?
You gotta play the game.
He's like, we just gotta, they'd be like, oh, we just gotta play the game.
Yeah.
And these are like, you know, just older, you know, upper management. And he would look at me like Matt and I'd be like, man, Jay, that's crazy. But yeah. So anyways. So yeah, the queen, spin the block.
You hear the controversy with Don't Worry Darling? All that
drama? No.
You haven't heard any of this?
No, what's going on?
So for those of you listening, Don't Worry Darling is a new movie by Olivia Wilde, directed Booksmart, starring Florence Pugh.
Thickums. She's the thick black
Chris
widow.
Pine, and Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
So yeah, it's coming out this month, in the end of this month. It's been pretty anticipated since the trailer.
Yeah, that trailer's no joke.
But there's been a lot of drama about it.
What's up? What's up?
So first off, Shia LaBeouf was supposed to play Harry Styles' part.
I can see that, but
you can see that.
I like Shia's crazy, but I like him.
Hold your thoughts on that, because you know he's about to go to court for sexual like something with his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And he even said like he basically admitted to it, because you saw he was on
Real Ones.
He was on, yeah.
I didn't watch it though.
Well, yeah, he like. We're gonna get to Shia LaBeouf later because there's a lot to say about him.
Okay, all right.
He said some stuff on that podcast too.
Oh, did he? All right, go ahead. So go back. All right, yeah.
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't worry, darling.
Shia LaBeouf's role was supposed to. Sorry, Harry Styles' role was supposed to be played by Shia LaBeouf. Okay. And Olivia Wilde said that they had to let him go because of scheduling conflicts. But then she went on to say that no, like his approach to everything wasn't how she approached things, and like Florence Pugh didn't feel comfortable, like that type of stuff. He like created just this combative, like the way he acts creates this combative like atmosphere. Okay. But then he posted like texts between him and Olivia Wilde, basically that was the complete opposite of what she was saying. Like how she was like asking him to stay on and stuff.
Really?
Onto the project.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. So not just that. So anyway, that's the Shia LaBeouf part. But Olivia Wilde's like praising Florence Pugh and all this stuff, like about her performance.
She's good.
And Florence Pugh never comments like anything about like Olivia Wilde's directing. Like she, like not too much. And Florence Pugh's only doing like one press thing for the movie. And it's apparently it's because she's busy filming Dune 2. But
wait, Florence Pugh's in Dune 2?
Yeah. That's right. I watched the video. It said she was in it.
Really?
According to this video.
Interesting.
That I watched. But apparently she's busy filming that. But the video I was watching said it was interesting because this is like this and Shazam's Warner Brothers 2 big movies coming out this year, this quarter. Yes. And for her not to do any press for it except one thing, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. Even if she was filming another Warner Brothers movie.
Yeah, they would definitely make time for her to.
Yeah. And what's it called? So she hasn't, and Olivia Wilde will post stuff about the movie, and I guess Florence Pugh isn't liking it or commenting on any of it. So weird stuff like that.
Yeah, just subtle shit.
Yeah.
A little bit of shade.
And and I saw this video. It was like talking about the Shia LaBeouf thing. Olivia Wilde was talking about it, and Florence the way she was talking about Florence Pugh is kind of condescending. Like it was like her, like condescending to how she felt towards acting with him. If that meant like Florence Pugh, it was just I don't know.
Wait, Florence Pugh was talking about Shia LaBeouf?
No, Olivia Wilde was talking about the Shia LaBeouf thing, but the way she was talking about Florence Pugh, it felt kind of like condescending to why she wouldn't want to work with him. This was a while ago though.
The funny thing about her, and I like her, but I watched her in Little Women. What day did we watch Little Women? I like rolled in your mom and your sister were like watching it, and it has the cast is like stacked. It's like Laura Dern, Florence Pugh,
I know.
Girl that played in Hannah, big
deal.
But it was so weird because like I feel like everybody's take on their characters except Hermione.
Yeah.
Hermione's felt the most accurate to the period and the style of writing, whereas everybody else just felt like some contemporary take on the classic. It was so weird. And they all like got nominations for that movie.
The clips I saw, I can see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and I remember even how they carried themselves, how they spoke. I mean, how they delivered their lines.
Maybe that's what she was going for, except Hermione didn't.
Hermione was like classical, like, and it, I mean, I've seen two versions of that movie. I pretty much watched that whole one, and I watched the one from the early '90s, like pieces of it, and I mean, I feel like that book and movie are relevant because it's one of like earliest examples, I guess, of like a female voice. Yeah. Because I've just never been really impressed with it, and you know, I'm a fan of women in art. So, but anyways, yeah. So Florence Pugh, I felt like her. So I'm wondering, like you're saying, she's in Dune, and you know, what is it, Darling?
Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what her take, how she's going to be basically in the movie.
She's gonna be great.
Yeah. Did you see Midsommar?
Yeah.
You watched that?
Yes.
Why do you do that to yourself?
I watched that with Mom.
Why? Why?
Terrible.
Anything that guy directs, I'm going the opposite direction.
That was terrible mistake.
Julius, I saw Midsommar. I saw the poster for Midsommar when I was working night shifts doing that remodel at the Highmark building, right? So here I am at like 3 a.m. walking to 7-Eleven to get a snack. And there was like a poster for it. Yeah. And I was like, Midsommar. Huh. So I bust out my phone. I Wikipedia it. I read the description and I'm like creeped out immediately. And then I read who made it. And I'm like, well, of course. That guy.
It was creepy.
That guy.
It was creepy.
You see the stuff that happens and then I'm just like, I don't even want to know how much of it this shows.
It shows everything.
That's what I mean. Like Hereditary, they showed the woman everything. Cut her own head off. So I was just like, yeah, I can't.
It shows everything.
Yeah. You keep watching his movies.
They're good. They're good.
People.
You can't deny that they're good.
Steer clear of. Look, Julius made us watch Hereditary the one day. I don't watch scary movies. Wait, no. Was it Hereditary?
It was Hereditary.
And I fell asleep like 3 times and was still terrified. Like I would fall asleep because I didn't want to watch it and like be like having like
forced yourself.
Yeah, like having like sleep paralysis.
You're going to hibernation.
Yeah, and I'd open my eyes and then I'd watch like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then fuck, this is bad. And then for like 3 days, it was like stuck in my head. I come outside at night and be like, oh my god. Like I'd be like, there's.
Well, I wanted to watch. That's my opinion. That's one of the top 10 modern day horror horror movies.
Yeah, I've only seen a third of it and not scared to death. Yeah.
Not just the way it does the horror.
Yeah. No,
I'm not saying jump scares. Just
no, it's terrifying.
Till the third act.
Yeah.
You're like, is this in her head or is this actually happening?
Yeah, and then it builds to
it builds really. I mean, the foreshadowing's crazy too. If you go back and it's crazy.
But you heard about that guy's writing process, right?
Yeah.
Let's come up with the worst scenario, and then let's see how far past that we can go. That's how he came up with the first movie he did. That short, terrible. Oh, sorry. So yeah, she was amazing in that in Midsommar. She
was good.
Okay,
she was good. But there's a scene going around with "Don't Worry, Darling" with Harry Styles, and in it he has like 3 different accents. He says like 2 lines, and it's something about like opportunity. But when you watch it, he has 3. Yeah, he's like yelling at her, and not, people are like, I don't know if this was intentional or what. I don't know. People don't know. They're speculating. Yeah. But either way, he's acting with Florence Pugh. So, and this is his first leading role.
It is.
But yeah, he has 3 different accents. It's like
he dates,
British,
he dates
American.
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, which that's other stuff, drama stuff.
Oh, yeah, she's like, I got you, baby. I got you.
Being with your boy Jason Sudeikis.
Hey man, Ted Lasso. Well, Yolanda was just talking about what's up.
I said messed up.
Yolanda said he did her dirty. I don't know. I don't recall.
What
she said she doesn't like him because he served. She said it was his wife, but I don't think. But she said, but he divorced his wife in like 2010.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the story is about Olivia Wilde. But then he said his wife, well, maybe it was his wife. She was giving a TED talk or something. And he had her she was on like a big presentation.
Oh, yeah.
And he had her served with papers.
Yeah.
That did happen?
That did happen. I don't think it was a TED talk. I think she was doing press for Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh, so it was Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
And he
served her.
With papers.
For divorce papers. But
he wasn't married to Olivia Wilde, was he? That was his girlfriend.
No, I think they were
were
engaged or something. Anyway, he served her.
Yeah,
I did see that today.
He didn't give it to her. He
can't.
He had somebody else serve her. Yeah,
but that's because
I've served.
She started dating Harry Styles.
Yeah,
during filming.
Oh, that's why they split up.
Yes, that's when they got together.
I thought they were
I don't know
together
during
and then
filming.
She cast him. Are you sure? They've been together for a minute.
Filming was a year and a half ago.
Oh, that's
2
true.
years.
Yeah, okay.
Like this time 2
COVID.
years ago.
Yeah, because when I was watching Ted Lasso, I knew that she was dating Harry Styles. Yeah. So,
and now there's a press conference with the movie. This was a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia Wilde sitting like on the right, Chris Pine's in the middle, and Harry Styles comes to sit down. And in the video, you can supposedly see Harry. He like spits on the ground, but it hits Chris Pine's shoe, and Chris Pine's just like, and he like just starts like kind of like one of those looks like, did this just happen? And he just starts laughing, and people are like, they claim like, someone's publicist said no, they didn't spit on him, but like if you watch the video over and over again, you're like, oh, like once you know he spit on him, you're like, oh yeah, you did spit on him.
Wow.
At least I swear I saw it.
Yeah, I'll have to look into
But
that.
anyway, yeah.
Chris Pine's disrespect.
Yeah, Chris Pine's face is like, did that just happen? And he just like laughs it off.
Man. Whew. That's one of them things.
That's all this drama.
All this drama surrounding this movie.
Movie.
It's going to take away from the movie.
Which I heard the movie is just getting okay reviews.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a stretch for her as a director. I feel like they
only directed one thing.
Yeah, I feel like the studio did the okie doke. We're like, well, you want to do what? Well, you got to be in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they let her do Booksmart because it was just a comedy. Booksmart was good, even though it was super bad for females. We already had this conversation.
It wasn't just super bad for females. It
definitely is a lot of super bad for females going on in that movie. But then they so for this one, since it's more of a stretch, I feel like they were like they did with Denzel. Like when Denzel did Antoine Fisher, they were like, okay, you gotta be in it. Like they do that. Like what's the name? Or his first what's his name? Mel Gibson. His first few movies he did, he had to be in them. Like first few, even if it was just a small part. I don't think that's the studio.
Really?
It was just even just a small part. It's not like he was the main, just a small part.
Braveheart.
Well, yeah, Braveheart. He wanted to be in Braveheart, but like
I feel
there was like the Man with No Face. There was
I feel like these people that Mel Gibson's
that wasn't his first
career. When he was directing, he was still acting, and so he wanted to be in it. It wasn't until he got older when he wasn't in the stuff he was directing.
Well, I guess if you say so.
Passion of the Christ.
Oh yeah, he wasn't going to be in Passion of the Christ.
The other
Apocalypto.
Yeah,
wasn't going to be in Apocalypto. But he's
what else did you direct?
Isn't it The Beaver? He was in The Beaver.
I don't even know that.
The Beaver. Well, he directed it.
Okay, was he in it?
Yeah, he was in it. He talks to this fucking stuffed beaver doll.
It was when he was.
I think that's when he was in Exile.
Still wanted to.
He wasn't in Hacksaw Ridge. I see your point. Did you know he directed Hacksaw Ridge?
I did. That was like, I remember seeing his name. I'm like, oh, so he's like, okay
he's
again.
Back, yeah.
So you're an army for all this stuff.
Give him time. People forget. Back. People forget. Yeah, people forget.
Yeah.
So, well, I see your point.
I feel like it's like I don't want to criticize, but I think it's like an ego thing too. Like, I'm a direct, and it's my vision, so I want to play this part. That's how I
Macbeth,
view it.
I'm sure he was like, "This is lightning." Not Macbeth. Braveheart. He was like, "This is lightning in a bottle right here. Like, I'm gonna kill it." You know.
Yeah, because like I didn't obviously we didn't see Don't Worry Darling, but like does she have to be in it? Come on, anyone.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, she's in it, but I don't think she has a big part. She's bad.
She's a main cast member.
She is. I mean, I see her in the trailers.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy because like that era that they're going for, it fits her just the way her looks are. Because remember, she was supposed to be the next hot thing for a second, and they kind of just like a series of movies that nobody liked. Isn't it crazy?
I was looking at because I was like, what was she in before?
Yeah, she was on House. Is what started it. She was on House.
She was on House. Was she a big role on House?
She was one of like, whatever, the people that come in and work with House.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think she was on there real long.
Okay.
And then
forgot about that show.
Yeah, she did like Cowboys and Aliens, which was supposed to be huge, and it bombed. And
she was in Tron too.
Yeah, she was in Tron. Yeah, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
So
she's in no good movies.
Yeah, but she was supposed to be it. Like she was supposed to be like the new hot shit, and it didn't work, which happens every freaking season. Like look at Megan Fox. Megan Fox was the hot chick.
At least she was in movies that made money though.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they may not have been good movies, but they're the biggest movies of the year.
Dude, I remember going to work and my coworkers obsessing over Megan Fox. It would just be like Anthony and Pun. I'd be like, yeah. But Anthony would be like, nah, fam. Her thumbs, she got hobbit thumbs. You got to look it up. And I'd be like, all right.
What?
And I'd look it up and look up Megan Fox's thumbs.
I will later.
Oh, my gosh. She got like regular size hands with like extra small thumbs. But only like the half of her thumb. It's crazy. It's crazy looking. Yeah. But anyways, speaking of like Hollywood's like things that they may or may not do, I feel like there's a pattern, and you have to have seen this with comedians. Like the comedians continuously have to do movies with other name actors until they hit a point where they can prove to carry a movie on their own. It happened to Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. Kevin Hart is like stuck there because he's terrible. And I say I say this because
he ain't gonna make it.
I'm gonna segue into while we were at your grandfather's house, me, your mother, and Yolanda watched what is it? Me Time. Movie's so bad.
It's
Kevin Hart's new movie, Netflix original. It's him and Mark Wahlberg.
Kevin Hart, Netflix original.
Well, yeah.
What else did you expect?
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, I mean, there's a few moments when you laugh, but the thing with Kevin Hart is like, wow, you can see this punchline coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
Like literally, like there was a scene. I'm like, oh, he's totally gonna like get caught, and boom, he gets caught, and you're like, wow, that would have been funny if like anything else had happened, but we knew it was gonna happen. And he's just Kevin Hart. He's like one note.
Yeah.
You know, people like he's so bad that people forget that he tried to be a dramatic actor for like the last 5 years, and no one went and saw any of those movies. Any movie he played a serious role, nobody was trying to see him. He's like, I'm gonna do the Jim Carrey thing. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like,
he wasn't an actor. He's not an actor.
I mean, he seems like he's a nice enough guy, but
he's Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's not like he's not, and like that thing him and Rock have, like it's like the best thing for both of them. I was just thinking, I'd rather see a Kevin Hart movie than the Rock movie though. Well, yeah, you know what? I know they just had that Super Pets come out, where he's like, you know,
they're both in it, right?
Yeah, they really are friends. Yeah. Like, I mean, so you know, kudos to them. They're like, this is what you gotta do. You gotta put your face out there, put on everything. Don't say no to nothing, and that's what they do. Yeah, they're just like both like, you're doing great. You're doing great. How many endorsements you got? I got 52. How many you got? 75. Nice. Like, yeah. But yeah, so they were just in that together. But Kevin Hart's gonna have a cameo in Black Adam.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Who do you think he'd be?
He'll be the Atom. That's who he'll end up being. He's already short. He shrinks. That'll be his thing. He'll be like, and that's
he shrinks shorter than that.
Did you ever? Like,
at his base form,
much smaller than that. That's so terrible. That is so terrible. He'll be like, actually,
that'll be in the commercials. That'll be in the trailers,
dude. And they're so bad. They'll be like, yeah, his name is Ray Palmer, and he's a astrophysicist.
Yeah, it's
blah, 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 and it's Kevin Hart. Yeah. No, he'll play it just like Kevin Hart.
He's writing on the chalkboard, thinking of the equation.
Yeah, making all these jokes. Yeah. Like, yeah, Kev. Yeah, we believe that you developed a thing that make you shrink to the size of an atom. Okay.
But he's wearing glasses.
Yeah, so he got to be smart. Take me seriously, glasses. Yeah, because that's coming. That's coming in October.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been casted as a superhero.
I'm sure they're looking.
Or in some superhero.
Yeah.
Thing.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't know if I want to see it. Like, if I see it, I'll laugh.
Maybe if it was like Suicide Squad and he died in the first 10 minutes.
Then that'd be
okay. Hilarious. Or like Deadpool and he died early.
With Brad Pitt. With Brad Pitt's cameo.
Yeah. Doing
that for a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Because the guy that directed that's his stunt double.
That's what's up.
In Fight Club.
That's why I fuck with Brad Pitt. Like literally because of stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a funny camp. That was so I remember being in the theater like Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. He played Invisible.
Yeah, Invisible to his
you only
death.
See when he dies.
I don't even think it was 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Got a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I do want to see Bullet Train.
I do want to see that too.
Like for as much as I like Brad Pitt, I've only seen a handful of his movies, and I don't think I've ever paid money to see any of them. I've never paid money for. I was always watching them on TV.
Yeah, in theaters, I've never.
I don't think I've ever.
Oh wait, I saw Once Upon a Time in theaters.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And same with Clooney. I love Clooney. I have paid to see Clooney. I saw a movie. It was terrible. I took your mom. It was like the worst.
Was it?
It was Solaris. You ever see Solaris? Oh,
never heard of
I took your mom. Yeah, it's like a space station, and the space station is like creating duplicates of people. It's a lot. Your mom was like, "What is this?"
It sound like something she would want to
watch.
Oh,
your mom. Sometimes it's just worth watching her watch the movie.
Yeah, that was Midsommar.
Yeah, but then every once in a while, she'll love a movie, and it's just like, told you when we went to see Logan. That was great. I looked over at her. She was crying. I said, "What the?"
That's funny.
And then when they turned the cross to the X at the end, she just said, X. And I was like, I love my wife.
Do you think she knew why it was an X?
I think she knew. Okay. Like it all came together at that moment. Like 20 years of relationship with me.
It wasn't the X.
Comic books, So yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
I thought this the other day.
Okay.
Who's more iconic?
Oh.
Playing the role.
Okay. This is a Catwoman.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Oh shit.
Or Christopher Reeves as Superman. You mentioning Logan reminded me.
Man, Hugh Jackman. Just because.
You're saying Hugh Jackman.
I'm saying because. Rest in power, Christopher Reeve.
That's rest in power.
Yeah. Rest in power, Christopher Reeve.
Well played.
You were my Superman, for real.
I think he's still have it.
Yeah, I mean, people don't get it. Like, from a nerd comic book point of view, like, when they draw Superman, a lot of times they draw him to look like Christopher Reeve. They do.
Wow.
Yeah, like, seriously. Like, and, like, the first person to play Superman after him, Brandon Roth, literally like just dialed in and played Christopher Reeve playing Superman. You seen Superman Returns?
No.
He's
yeah.
He's playing Christopher Reeve playing Superman.
He was, yeah.
And I ain't mad at him for it. I was like, nah, go ahead. That's what I want to see. And because that was the thing he could do. Like, I love Henry Cavill. He's a dope Superman. But the things Christopher Reeve did as Superman, he could play both. Just with his body language.
I saw
clips
of that, like when you see him shift.
Yeah, that's gangster.
Like Kent and...
yeah, he would go from being slouched over, and then when he was Superman, he'd stand up. Oh, he did stand up straight and take his glasses off. And you were like, he's fucking Superman. So I mean, he's iconic to my generation, but I can't say that about. I mean, the world's.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna just argue with you for argument's sake.
I'm not.
But
I truly wanted to know.
It took them. Actually, 10, 15 years to recast Superman? 10? Maybe. It wasn't that long if you really think about it.
Well, they did that show.
Well, yeah, that's different. That was Dean. Dean Cain was actually too tan to be playing Superman. He was like tan. I was like, why is he so tan? But
yeah, I guess it was only
whereas like
15 years.
Yeah,
maybe not even.
And Chris Reeve couldn't act, and then he passed.
Yeah.
So the thing with Wolverine. Hugh Jackman, he was the first to play it, and he literally he can't play anybody else and get the love he gets, because people think he's fucking Wolverine.
Yeah.
like people think he's Wolverine.
They always see Wolverine.
Yeah,
first.
That's all you see, and then he has to make you forget that.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I remember him earning my respect when I went to see X-Men. I was like, who's this fucker playing Wolverine? My favorite character. And then I'm sitting there. And, I'm like, okay. And then slowly but surely, I was like, all right, yeah, he's Wolverine. And then by X2, I was like, no, he's Wolverine. Like, that's who he is. So the next person in line for that, I pity the fool.
Yeah,
I do.
I pity the fool.
I mean, you know. So, anyways.
All right. Now, what about Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, I think he can be recast. I don't care what anybody says.
That's a hot take.
Look, man, I get it.
That's a hot take.
I get it, but I'm telling you, I know you're out there, people. I know there are people that feel the same way I do about Tony Stark. I know it. Like, I just feel like he could be recast. RDJ.
Recast.
Yeah, I do. I mean, and I feel like Robert Downey Jr. Like, there are things about.
Yeah, he put the MCU on his back.
Oh my gosh,
the biggest franchise ever on his back.
Was it though? I mean, the MCU. Yeah. But was Iron Man?
He started it off.
He did.
I am Iron Man.
I mean, you already know. Everybody else here knows. I was on the couch Christmas Day. Was sitting up clapping by the time it was over. He killed it. But as it went on and he became less Tony Stark and more RDJ.
Yeah.
I mean, so I feel like if they get somebody to come in and they're like, hey, don't do RDJ, do Tony Stark, it'll work. Because if you come in and try to just do that, people are like, he's just trying to be like Robert Downey Jr. Just give me like the billionaire playboy with the snarky attitude.
I think you're talking about generation things. I think you have a little kid.
Right.
And they don't Robert Downey Jr. before he was Iron Man.
Yeah,
you see a little kid, all they see is Iron Man.
That's all they see.
They don't think Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't even know his name.
That's true. That is true. I don't know.
I mean, I'm Hugh Jackman, but like, you can't discredit saying he could be recast.
I mean, he's iconic. He is. Well, all right. So Chadwick then. Is Chadwick because he never got to, how much of it is that he passed and how much is that he encompassed Black Panther?
It's a Tupac effect.
That's what I'm saying. Is it, or is it that he? I mean, he just won. I mean, I love Chadwick.
Yeah, me too.
But he just won an Emmy for a voiceover on What If. Yeah, there was the
I didn't know that.
They were the special Emmys they
sure won that Oscar.
Yeah, he sure should have
for that movie.
Yeah, he was great in that. Like that was, I forgot, he's in the bag for Black Mom.
I think everyone thought that.
Yeah, it was I
forget who beat him, but
I don't know.
It's just like, something Bottom.
Yeah, Ma Bailey's Black Bottom.
Yeah.
That song was actually the song that was filmed in Pittsburgh. Fucking Pittsburgh. Fuck. Anyways,
sorry.
yeah, I'm just saying.
He was great.
Represent. Yeah, he was, and he was sick. He was so sick when he made that. That movie you can see it.
He was just
and he was still killing it, But he just won an Emmy for his voiceover work and
I didn't know that.
And What If, cool. And I was just like, that's cool. I'm like, but
did he deserve it?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I don't. So,
I think. Well, he is the first ever person to be Black Panther.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, the first ever, I think that gives you something because that's the first time you're seeing it from. Yeah, you can have it. No. That's the first time you're seeing it from page to screen, being the first.
Yeah, they did retire the character once he passed. They didn't even attempt to recast, though.
Just because it was such a.
It was so soon.
It was soon, and it was a tragic way.
And it was, and he was a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah,
I guess.
Rest in power.
Rest in power. Rest in power. Wakanda forever. So apparently the second trailer is going to be dropping soon for Wakanda forever.
I'm not going to watch it.
Nah, but I think they're saying there's a lot of reshoots or something. But that's clickbait.
It's September.
I know it's coming out like
they're not reshooting nothing. They're working on those VFX because they're probably behind on them.
Yeah, because of the Ukraine.
They're going to be doing... No, just VFX and Marvel's output.
Yeah.
They probably do it till like 2 weeks. It's about to come out.
You think so?
At least a month.
Okay. I don't know, but...
I don't know either, but... no way they're completed with that movie right now.
Yeah.
Like with post.
It just come out in 2 months.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So they're not doing reshoots.
Yeah.
And still staying on schedule.
Yeah, there's no way they'll stay on schedule. Yeah. Yeah, man. There was something else I wanted to tell you besides. Oh, little comic book store I went to in Tennessee. Very nice. It's in Gallatin. If you're ever out that way, folks, there's a nice little comic and record store, and they sell collectible stuff, but it's mainly like Funkos, and the town's haunted. The town of Gallatin is haunted. Yeah, your grandfather had a book by ghosts. What else you want to be haunted by?
I mean, like what type of ghost? Like Native Americans.
Let me tell you something about America. Okay, Civil War ghosts. So we're in Tennessee, right? We're in Gallatin.
Civil War ghosts are dangerous.
And your papa has this book about the town. He's like, oh, I have this book about the town. He's like, supposedly it's haunted. And I was like, no, Ken. So he shows it to me, and I flipped through it. And we're in Tennessee, bud. Right?
I know.
So I'm looking at the book. And there's a picture of a general, but he was a Union general.
What?
Okay, in the book. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Gallatin? And then I'm reading the back, and they're like, so I'm reading the back of the book, and it's saying, like, X amount of Confederate soldiers were executed by the dastardly general. And I was like, wait a second. Is that
a modern day book?
Yes. Is calling a general of the Union Army dastardly for executing Confederate soldiers. And I'm like, you guys really are holding on. Yeah. Like, you're still holding on. You were the bad guys, okay?
Rise again.
Yeah, like you were I was like,
the South will rise again.
I was like, am I the only person noticing that says dastardly? Yeah. Like, Dirty Dan. Like, what are you talking about?
The South.
But the South, boy. But I'll say this much. Like, we went to the town square, and I was just like, because, your pap kept talking about it. And I was like, man, like, yeah, this is dope. It's a town square. It's not modernized. Like, the roads are good, the sidewalks are good, but the buildings are old, and it's all boutiques. But this is the difference between, like, say, here and, like, uptown Washington. There were a ton of people. Mm-hmm. Foot traffic galore, places to eat, places to shop. And it was busy. And I was like, yeah, this is dope. Like, this is a town that's supporting itself. It's feeding itself. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is like something I would want to come do on the weekends if I lived around here. I'd want to come up. I'd want to go to town square and walk around and grab something to eat and hit up one of my little shops and see if I can find any treasures. And I was like, it doesn't seem like something that's that hard to do. But I don't know how close the nearest mall was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like the malls is what killed that type of thing around here. It did. That let's go ahead and walk around.
That'd be Midwestern town.
It's just crazy. Well, not in this town. And the place we ate used to be.
I thought you were saying our town.
Oh well, no, our town's about to become.
I was gonna say the malls are dead in our town.
Yeah, no, it's this. But the place we ate used to be it was called Sweeney's, I think, and it used to be pharmacy.
Oh,
they still had the sign up. And you remember pharmacies like Wonderful Life? They used to have like the bars in them where they made like malts and shit. Yeah. So this place was a restaurant, and they still had the bar there, and that's where they cooked on the other side of the bar. It's a burger and chicken place. Burger was good, and they had it was milkshakes, burgers, and chicken. And me and your mom split a milkshake, which really meant, your mom. I drank. I said, babe, are you gonna drink half of this? Yes. I was like, you're gonna drink half of this? Yes. I was like, because your mom doesn't share dairy. She barely shares her drinks, and she doesn't share dairy. So she took like half a sip, and then I had to drink the rest of it because I had to. So. Because I had to. Actually, I don't think I finished it because I was watching my sugar, believe it or not. So, but the burger was good, the shake was good, the vibe was good, and it was busy. Like busy. Then I went 2 doors down to the comic book store, found some treasures. I told you a story about your pap. Yeah. With your comic. He's funny, but he did look at some albums. He did. Yeah. So yeah, nice little town. Dastardly general. Yeah.
That is funny. Just funny because that's so like a book.
Yeah, it's a book
they
sell
recently.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But yeah, the book had every like place that was haunted and like what they said was going on. I was like, the building we were in where we ate, the upstairs was supposed to be haunted. So I don't know. Yeah, Messenger dude. What's that show you watch?
Barry?
No, he just had the episode with the real estate chick.
Oh yes, Nathan. I forget his last name. Mm-hmm. Nathan for you. Whoever made that show. What is his name? Something. Mm-hmm. That show is funny.
Yeah, remember just he had the lady who her real estate lady. Her whole thing was selling houses that weren't haunted. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you guys Nathan, for you, it's an older show. It's over. They only had 4 seasons, but
he has a new show now.
Yeah, he has a new show, The Rehearsal. But yeah, real life situations, and just when you're watching it, like, are these people real? You just think that.
Yeah. Well, hey, if anybody out there's ever seen the clip of the pig saving the goat that's drowning, that's fake. He made that clip and it went viral, and people don't know that's fake. There was a whole set.
Proves his point.
Yeah, yeah, and he did it. It was a gag.
Yeah,
and it went viral. He was like, "Oh," he was like, "Oh," the next day. Oh. news carrier. Buddy, I told you I was just watching YouTube like 3 nights ago, and that clip showed up, and I was like, "Wow, we watched this guy make this." Mm-hmm. Like the whole thing is fake. Except for the goat and the pig.
The animals are real.
Yeah, but
even, how they got them to do it.
It's
all staged.
All staged. I was like, wow, like you can pull off anything with cameras.
Cameras and some money.
So they hired scuba divers.
Yeah.
For like
they had PETA. They had PETA watching.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. But so
good show.
It's
on
funny.
HBO Max.
See, that's something you and your mom watch, which always makes me laugh. Like, I remember on the weekends, if I'd be off and I'd come in and you and your mom would be watching, like, Practical Jokers, I'd be like, what house do I live in?
It's just a good pastime.
It's just, but that's, like, something you and her do.
Yeah.
Like, you and her watch that type of stuff. And I'm just like, wow.
Because I know it'll make her laugh.
And for sure. For sure.
Makes me laugh.
Yeah. So, yeah, she just texted me. She wants to go to the movies next week and see.
See what?
And see Woman King. Black Panther
she
3.
Wants to see that.
Yeah. The prequel. The prequel to Black Panther, Woman King, with my girl. Yeah. I want to see it too, but I was shocked that she wanted to see it.
Yeah, I forgot that was
with Viola Davis.
I hope that makes money, but I don't think they're advertising it.
They're not advertising it because they're like, what the fuck? Black Panther's coming out 2 weeks later.
They knew. Like, come on.
They're like, we're splitting the...
You're splitting the demographic.
Yeah, they're like, what are we going to do? Is it too much Africa? Is it too much? Like, no, it's not. I need more. I need more Africa. I need more warrior women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is their excuse. Once it flops, they're like, well, we tried.
We tried Africa.
No more.
You're like, you tried African warrior women. But you're going to make the same movie next year. It's going to be based in Greece, and it's going to be called Amazons. Yeah. And it's going to make $1 billion.
It's going to kind of have white women that don't even look Greek.
I know, right? Think about that.
Supermodels.
Oh my God, think about that. So if this really was like the Amazon movie, it'd be plastered everywhere right now.
Yeah,
it would. It'd be like Amazons.
These supermodels.
Yeah.
All this
crazy it'd be thing. All this like. Every commercial.
Each shot looks like a perfume commercial, like slow motion, elegant dresses and stuff.
Little girls be running around. Yeah. You be seeing fake spears at fucking Target, but not this movie. Not Warrior, not Woman King, with Boyega, which
and Viola Davis
stacked. I really hope Boyega is in this for more than just like I guess a background, because I like him.
He's good.
He is good, and I want to see him do well. Like I want to see him have like a Denzel type career. Yeah. Even though in that movie where he's channeling his inner Denzel, what
movie is that?
I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
But I mean, even the way his voice is, I'm like, he sounds like Denzel, which is crazy. But I really want to see that dude's career like take off outside of like Star Wars.
It's due.
I mean.
Yeah.
You know, like
because no one like from that trilogy that was new from it.
Yeah.
You can argue what's his face.
Oscar Isaac was already.
Yeah, he was already established.
Yeah, he was doing his thing.
You could argue what's his Kylo Ren. What's his name again?
Oh wow, Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver. But I feel like he was doing stuff.
Yeah, he was too. He got cast.
When he was on Girls.
When he was on Girls, and in between his getting cast and actually the movie, his career started to take off. So he was becoming kind of recognizable prior to, you know, even though I've always thought he was just a weird kind of actor. Like there are people who like they're such a great actor, and I just watch him like I don't understand.
I think he's good, but he's unique.
Like they used to talk about Keanu Reeves like that. Like there was like some nuance to what he did, and I was like, I don't see it.
I think Keanu's just.
I'd be like, yeah, I don't.
He's
see
okay.
It.
He's gotten better.
I mean, that dude was in Bram Stoker's Dracula and like couldn't do a southern accent or something crazy. Like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
he's in good movies.
He is. He will entertain you.
Yeah.
Did you know that Cyberpunk movie, that video game?
Yeah.
Yeah, like bankrupted that company.
Really?
it didn't perform the way people thought it was going to. I just watched the video because he was involved with that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the fact no one's talking about that game.
Did you play it?
No, I didn't. I heard there's a lot of
glitches
with it when it came out upon release. Like it wasn't finished, even though they've years. Been advertising it for so long.
Yeah, because I just watched the video and it was talking about like why you don't see just certain types of games anymore. Like why everybody's kind of like going for the sure thing. You know, and that's whether it's music, movies, games.
Everything.
It's just like it's the sure thing. Like, hey, everybody likes this. Let's just do this. Nobody's out there nobody's trying things. You know, you have like the small studios who are. But did you know? This is on a side note. You're not going to care. I just found out today that the company that publishes G.I. Joe comic books killed Snake Eyes like 7 years ago. I didn't know that. Snake Eyes is like, iconic. He's Snake Eyes. He's everybody's favorite G.I. Joe. Well, apparently, I kind of like want to go back and read why they did it because I'm guessing that somebody probably was like, you know what, we need to get rid of Snake Eyes because everybody. He was probably like their like Deus Machina, like all those fellas will call Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
So apparently they killed Snake Eyes. They killed him off in a book, like he dies. Mm-hmm. But then the G.I. Joes replace him with someone else named Sean. So that's all I know, Sean. But he's
Snake Eyes.
But he's Sean. But he's impersonating Snake Eyes. So they only bring him out like when shit's bad, and it's not even so he'll change the tab to what he can do. I guess it's more like people see Snake Eyes and they shit the bed like, oh fuck, Snake Eyes is here. And I was like, that's kind of dope. Like they were like, Snake Eyes is that good that like just the thought that he's showing up. I'm thinking, well, who's that badass that like if they showed up at something, you'd be like, oh shit, like I don't know.
Real life.
In real life. Like
I don't know anyone personally that I'm
that. You didn't grow up like you didn't grow up with like any like legendary fighters or anything, huh? There wasn't like some guy that like just whispered about like, man, I heard he knocked out 3 cops and his uncle. Like you just didn't have that.
No, because we knew the truth.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. I would list the ones from my era, but they might come find me.
Hey, you're sleeping with the shotgun.
You say my name on the thing. I'd be like, oh, I didn't think you could use the iPhone. Yeah.
You know.
Hey, but listen, but you gotta understand, growing up, they were like literally like moving from Washington. Washington had like Wash High had its people.
Yeah.
Like, and it was always like some dude who'd been out of school or some dude who was still in school that hung out with those guys that were out of school that nobody fucked with, and they beat up grown men every weekend. And then Trinity had theirs. Then I moved to Chartiers, and Chartiers had theirs. And I did always think it was interesting that none of these guys ever like
clashed.
Yeah, like, this is weird. Like, who are these people beating up? Now I will say that one dude,
small town, like,
how
many people can you beat up without people being like, hey, I know you.
Right.
I don't want to fight you.
No, I couldn't tell you who Cannonsburg was. Cannon Mac, I couldn't tell you. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's because their wrestling program was so strong. I don't know, but I never knew who like their fighters were. To this day, now I think about it, but I could name them from like every school, like the people that were like, oh, so and so. Now the only 2 I know confirmed, like I've seen a picture of them together as men in their 50s, and I said, "What up, man?" And he said, "Well, I was a fighter back in the day, and so that's how we knew each other." And I was like, "That's true." Like I was like, but he confirmed like that's how he knew him from fighting, like from actually fighting, and I was like, "Wow." Because I knew them both being fighters when we were young. But anyways, I'll tell you how bad it was. I'm going to move on. I was at the casino within the last 10 years. I bumped into a guy from high school who had been friends with people from Trinity growing up. So he knew the Trinity badasses, right? Mm-hmm. So I go over. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, what's going on, man? He's like, yo, this is so-and-so. And I go, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. He goes, you know. And I was like, fuck. Are you fucking serious right now? Like, and they even said like what they used to call him, and I was like, yeah, nice to meet you. Like, you're literally introducing me to this dude as I'm 40 years old, bro. You're introducing me to some guy that used to beat people up when I was 14. Like, and I'm supposed to be. I don't know how I was supposed. I don't know what I was supposed to say. Like, besides, hey, nice to meet you. Like, but the dude literally stood there. I'm like he was like, am I supposed to kiss your ring?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening right now? So it was pretty funny. It was like, wow. So yeah, but you didn't have that. You're like your generation. Wow, that's pretty wild.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I remember hearing Pun talk about people your Uncle Jason's age that I knew. Actually from Canonsburg, but they were your Uncle Jason's age, so that's 6 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And Pum was like, yeah, so and so. I remember he was a beast, and I was like, oh my god, like, and then that was like, I was like, is that what it was like for like the people I looked up to? The people older than them were like who? But I don't know. So, anyways, man, you guys knew the truth. Urban legends didn't have you all twisted. So,
I mean, I'm sure there's urban legends. There's definitely urban legends. I just can't remember.
Yeah, you let them go.
I'm trying to think when I was 13. Like, I don't remember.
I remember they were like,
there's definitely war.
They're like, he peeled a dude's ear off. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Yeah. Crazy. I wasn't one of those people. So, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, you have anything left you want to?
I mean, what have we covered?
Covered a lot.
Movies.
Do you want me to say the quick thing about Shia LaBeouf real quick?
Yeah, I do I'm interested in hearing about that. Yeah.
I guess he's gonna go to court with it's sexual something, not battery, not assault, something. With his ex-girlfriend, and then on that podcast, whatever, he basically said, like he abused her or something, whatever. But he's found God, all this stuff.
Wow.
And before I knew all that stuff, he said, he had that movie Honey Boy?
Yeah.
His dad was not like that.
So he made it all up.
He said he made it all up.
So he's just a whack job then.
Yes. And the whole
he's a good actor.
Of Honey Boy.
Well, if that was his life.
Like, man, he's had a tragic life. You're watching, you're like, this is so sad.
Yeah. And
he said he made it all up.
So he's just a mess still. He's still a mess. Even when you think he's getting better, he's still a mess. That's kind of scary if you think about it.
It's been like that for 10 years now.
Hollywood messed him up ever since Bumblebee.
Yeah.
He ain't been right. He made him scream Bumblebee too many times.
I was actually, this week, I was watching these people watch Dark of the Moon, Transformers. And there's a scene and he's like yelling in it. And they're like, why is he so over the top right now? They're like, this is when he snapped. Like, you watch that scene and it's like he yells once, you're like, oh, okay. And he kept yelling and you're like, he snapped. He snapped. He's going off right now.
I mean, you figure he was the highest high. Like, for a minute. And then, when did he fall off? What was the first one?
Well,
I mean, he had to keep making those damn Transformers.
As a kid, like, the years seemed so much longer apart.
Yeah, but it
really wasn't. Like, after Transformers, he did Gangster Squad.
He did,
which was in 2013.
He did iRobot with Will Smith.
Very small. That was before Transformers.
Yeah. That's when he was starting.
He wasn't big. He didn't like Suspiria or whatever. Before Transformers. Before Transformers.
Yeah. All right. So I have a thought, and this has to do with Shia LaBeouf. I was listening to a podcast today with Boof, and they were talking about Hank Pym. Okay. Ant-Man. No, listen. Okay. You know the defining thing about Hank Pym's character is that he was abusive to the Wasp. Yeah. Janet Van Dyne. And this guy was saying, like, in the 90s, he wrote a big thing about it saying, can we please let go of this? Like, this is, like, how this character is defined. Like, okay, it happened. Writers need to find a new way to, like, because they always go back to this. Yeah. And so, but now,
it's like their crutch.
Now this guy's 40, and he's like, now I feel a little different. Now I feel like there's no coming back from what that character did. And that should be like, and I'm like, but is it? Like, I'm like, oh, like, is there redemption or isn't there? That's what I'm asking. So,
and the thing of fictional characters, I can see why it's like, can we please do something else? We keep doing the same circle. Yeah. The same character development.
They did a cool thing with Cable, but anyways, go ahead.
But in real life, fool me once. Shame on you. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Can't get fooled again.
So do you think there's redemption?
I'm George W. Bush.
George W. Bush. Do you think So, do you think Shaq can come back? Do you think he can, as a human being?
No.
No?
Well, as a human being?
Yeah, I'm not talking about his career. I'm talking about as a human being. Like,
I don't know, because I thought he was coming back.
Right.
And then this is coming out.
Right.
And I don't know if he really found God. He's just saying that to look good in court.
Right. That's true. I mean, I remember when T.I. was about to go to jail, and he started on his community service and got all, like...
I didn't know
that. Was when he did, like... He did that... He did a song with Justin Timberlake. All his whole music changed.
Yeah.
And it was just so he wouldn't go to jail.
Yeah.
Then he went to jail anyways. And he was like, well, that was pointless. And he went back to being regular T.I. And I was like, that's funny. Like, you were over here, like, going to high schools and giving out shoes and shit. And
he tried.
Guess what the Rock just did? Guess what the Rock just did?
What?
I don't think he's in Ant-Man now, by the way, because he has the dreads and stuff now. So I don't think he's been in. I don't think he's gonna be in.
I was just saying he was.
He was, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But the Rock. So apparently today, yesterday, I don't know, they did a very exclusive, intimate viewing of Black Adam.
Okay.
At, I don't know, a university somewhere, a small theater. It was probably 100 people.
Okay.
And they were like, "We're, this is to get your feedback." Blah blah
blah.
blah.
A screening. So
in walks Rock. Everybody starts cheering. So how
they love it.
Yeah, how honest do you think this is going to be now? This is before the movie started.
Yes.
He shows up to watch it with them, and they all see him.
That defeats the purpose.
Like, that totally defeats. They're not going to give you a bad review to your face. Yeah. Like, gosh. And he records it because, why not record everything? I was just like,
that couldn't have been a real, like an actual, hey, we're going to get data.
And he says, there's still work to be done, is what he's calling. Still work to be done. New trailers coming this week. I was just like, Rock, there's been 75 trailers. I don't care.
The Rock. Of course he did that.
Of course. Of course. Guy helps an old lady across the street. For some reason, somebody got to pull out the phone and show him doing it.
Yeah.
He's such a good man. Kindness of his heart. 6 million likes.
He knows how to advertise himself.
I guess so, man. The brand. Don't mess with the brand.
Yeah.
Yep. But, yeah. I'm good, though. I don't think there's anything else left.
Next week, we'll get to your question, Sim.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Sim. We ran out of time.
Sorry.
But next week.
Yeah. We'll definitely.
Definitely. So, I'm Pops.
Yeah, and I'm Son. If you're not already following us, follow us on Instagram at Son and Pops Culture. There's a link there for other social media links, some highlights on YouTube that you want to watch in your pastime, all that jazz. Till next time.
Yeah. Peace, Son.
Yeah.
Pops.
See ya.
Peace.